This month's giveaway is a copy of Mighty No. 9 Cross-Buy for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and the Vita whenever they decide to release that version. How do you enter to win? It's simple. All you have to do is be a subscriber, and as always, if you want additional entries, go ahead and leave a comment on each of our podcast videos for the month. The winner will be chosen at random at the end of the month. Good luck, and thank you so much for watching. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 24, your weekly podcast for nerdy news and opinions, coming at you each and every Monday at noon Eastern. I am Kevin McManus. With me, actual nobody. So this is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Kellen, he works night shifts, doesn't work on the same schedule as me, yada yada, says recording tomorrow is going to be a little rough. Why don't we record in the AM, early in the morning? And I said, I think I can do that. I can make that. Didn't wake up on time. Texted him in the morning. That didn't go over well. He was probably asleep by the time I texted him, etc., etc. Talked to Todd, told him I would let him know when Kellen said was okay. By the time Kellen would have been good, Todd wasn't, and then Kellen couldn't show up. And I was like, well, this is easy to remedy. Stick with me. And this is easy to remedy. I already had plans with another friend who's flying in from Texas. He was going to fly in. Boom. We were going to hang out. I was like, I can sneak him on the podcast. You don't mind. So he's like, I've been up since 4 a.m. I'm not going to come over today. I'll come over some other time. So now here I am, alone, doing this podcast, mano y mano, unfiltered Kevin McManus podcast. If you hate it, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You should probably really like this one. It would probably be the best episode. Episode 24, screwed that up last week. Said 23 or 24 on the 23. We're off to a good start. So E3 ended, or is basically over at the time of recording this. So I'm going to go over everything that wasn't in a conference. If you want to know our conference thoughts and opinions, me and Todd did podcasts on Sony and on Microsoft and on the third parties. I'll talk a little bit about Nintendo since that happened since. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to be going over my favorite announcements of E3. I'm going to be going over what I thought some people did wrong from E3, who I think won E3, etc. I'll do the games coming out this week, what I've been playing, all by my lonesome, and then I will do the unpopular opinion, which this week will be Dark Cloud 1 versus Dark Cloud 2. Spoilers, that's what I've been playing. But first, let's jump straight into the news of E3. I'm going to start out with Nintendo's conference. What a letdown this was. So, get into this conference live stream. They show off a Zelda trailer. Looked really good. Not the biggest Zelda fan. Gotta put that out there. I like Zelda. I play most of them. I play all the new ones when they come out. But I'm not like crazy about them. I like the lore. I don't really like the gameplay. This one looks like an open world Zelda. Cool. Got it from the trailer. Don't need 7 hours of live streams to tell me what this game is. I figured it out in 2 minutes. So then they moved on to Pokemon. They talked about that for way too long. That was kind of annoying. Too much Pokemon going on. It started out okay, then it went downhill, then it got a little better, but even somebody I'm new to Pokemon, I'm going to get this Pokemon, they were boring me. That's not good. So I zoned out and literally tuned out. Probably about 45 minutes in, I was like, I can't take this anymore. I don't want to know this much about Zelda. I don't care. I know people loved it. It was a lot of people's game of the show. Great on you. That's fine. Anyway, next up, I have Persona 5. This got a release date before we do this at probably a bad time, the recording. The release date came out before E3, but then we had to do the E3 conference episode, so we still couldn't talk about it. Anyway, Persona 5 coming out, delayed again, February 2017, Valentine's Day on the 14th. So I know what I'm doing on Valentine's Day. Game looks fantastic. They didn't have English voice actors, which I was a little surprised about. They showed off Morgana's English voice, which I liked. Not what I thought it would be, but I liked it. But the trailer they showed was the same trailer as before with subs, which if you were a Persona fan, you already saw the fan sub on YouTube already. So that probably didn't please you. They showed off the 9th party member. They showed off a bunch of stuff. If you're a Persona fan, there's news out there now. Little worried about this release date. I don't like that it's coming out in September in Japan and then all the way in February here. There are like sensitive spoilers in the Persona games. They aren't happy and bubbly. Things happen. And I would hate for that to be spoiled. And I have a sneaking suspicion it might be. So come September, I guess I'm going on blackout on Persona. I don't know. The collector's edition was announced. I think it's $80. Comes with a school like laptop bag and CD and steelbook and maybe stickers. I don't know. I pre-ordered it. Moving on, Gravity Rush 2. You know I got to talk about these things. Gravity Rush 2's trailer was shown, and they swear it's 2016. Every interview, they say 2016. We'll tell you later. At the end of the trailer, it just this small says 2016. This is my most anticipated game of 2016, as cited in my most anticipated game podcast episode at the beginning of the year. But man, I don't think this game is hitting 2016 at all. I think this is 100% a 2017 game. But, I mean, it's playable there. It looks really good. They showed off a pretty big chunk. You can see like 20 minutes of the game. Very, very excited for this one. But like I said, I think we're getting it next year. If we get it this year, that's awesome. Phil Spencer announced that Halo 6 will be coming to Windows 10. It's clear they're trying to make the Xbox a Steam machine type thing. Like, it's very obvious. And then Phil also announced that mouse and keyboard support is coming in the future months. So like I said before, they're trying to really unite those two things as one, which is a strategy. We'll see how it goes. Somebody said this, and I totally buy it. This is what happens. Sony's conference really focused on games. They're clearly the gamers console. They want you to think about games when you're thinking about Sony. Whereas Microsoft is different. They want you to think about Xbox. The amount of time they try to sell you the Xbox through their conference is numerous. Whereas I feel like they're trying to sell you less on the games. Where Sony, I feel like they're trying to sell you games, not the PlayStation. Just an observation that I agreed with. Moving on, God of War got some more information. If you saw the trailer for this, really awesome. Really liked it. Todd loved it. God of War is not a reboot. It's called God of War. It is a sequel to God of War 3. We're going to see how that works out. I'm actually very interested in that, but yeah, they 100% said it takes place after God of War 3, and trying to avoid spoilers for the God of War games. Kratos in this new Norse mythology, which I'm very interested in how we got there from the Greek mythology of God of War, is trying to, I don't want to say cope, but deal with being a parent and all that responsibility. And it's very much a story of a son and his dad and each learning from each other as you go on your adventure. I love the idea. I think that's great. I'm glad it's a continuation. I originally wanted a relaunch, but I kind of like that this is a continuation out of curiosity. Let's just see where this goes. That surprised me, though. Why would you call it God of War? That's my question. There was a LEGO Dimensions Part 2, Set 2, I don't know what they're calling it. The new LEGO Dimensions was announced. It has Harry Potter. It has Sonic the Hedgehog. It has Beast Boy. It has Adventure Time. It has Lord of the Rings. They're going in deep with this one. It is the new Ghostbusters nobody likes, like most disliked video on YouTube thing. I'm excited about this. I like LEGO Dimensions. It was one of those things I got on a whim, and I was like, this is probably going to be awful. And then I was like, oh, I really like it because I like DC characters, and they put DC characters in it. And also the story is a little bit charming. The big thing that they added is 4-player mode. They have a 4-player multiplayer. It's like Capture the Flag. I don't know if it's always Capture the Flag. The one they showed off was, and it was in the Adventure Time world. And apparently every one of these new places has their own world for like a 4-player multiplayer game, which is kind of cool. Big fan of 4-player split screen. Me and Kellen and Todd and all of us do that a lot, pretty much every weekend. So anytime there's a new 4-player game, I'm all about it. Destiny's new expansion, Rise of Iron, was announced. I don't know too much about Destiny. I played vanilla Destiny, didn't get Taken King. This one adds new guns, new armor, a new raid, new everything. It seems like it's very much like the Taken King in that people were way happier with the content in that than just the little expansions. It's not coming to the 360. It's not coming to the PS3. So I think it's dead there. Yeah, there's no use in supporting those. They probably don't have the player base to support it. and it's coming in September. So look forward to that if you're a Destiny player. Looked cool. There's some wolves in the trailer. Big fan of wolves, so that was neat. Probably I'm not going to say my favorite, but one of my favorite announcements, Injustice 2. It was leaked via poster, and then the trailer came out. It was a CG trailer. It seems like a continuation of the first Injustice's story. No spoilers from that story. Superman is he's the villain of the story. You can figure that one out from the trailer. Seems like a continuation of that story. Apparently, some people really looked up to Superman, and they're trying to build him back up. Yada, yada, yada. There's a new armor system. It's kind of RPG-like, kind of Soul Calibur-ish, I guess. When you beat people, you literally get like loot packs with armor in it, and then you can equip that armor to different people, and it can vary up your attacks. So like you could throw your Batarang with a curve to it if you get certain ones. I don't know. It's a little weird. I don't know how they're going to balance it in competitive play. They're probably going to have a vanilla mode. I imagine it's going to be like Smash, where you have like 3 moves per direction and attack, and in competitive Smash, they're just like, you can't play with like custom things. I imagine it's going to be just like that. I think it's a cool idea. It seems like it would make playing online a lot more fun, because you literally never know what you're going to run into, and you can run into someone with some really cool gear and loot and whatever, and that might be neat until they kick your butt in, and then you probably think it's the worst thing ever. So yeah, Injustice 2, Grodd in the game, Supergirl in the game, Atrocitus in the game, Batman's back, Superman's back, kicking myself, Aquaman also back with a whole bunch of new moves. They look great. Black Manta, not one of the characters. Very deceiving trailer. He is a stage transition. Those are back. You get knocked through the walls. All this stuff happens. Black Manta comes and hits you the final hit. He's not actually a playable character as of right now, though Martian Manhunter was in the background of the first Injustice, and then they added him in. I imagine this is the same thing. I think we'll get Black Manta as DLC. Unfortunately, I'm already talking about DLC for a fighting game, and we only know 6 of the characters. My hopes for Injustice. Let's go over that. Black Canary. Really want Black Canary, just a straight up martial artist character without really many gadgets and stuff, and like the, Canary Cry is cool. Who else do I want? I want Killer Frost back. I think that's not going to happen. I think she's going to get replaced, unfortunately, probably by Captain Cold. It seems like Captain Cold's in the game from the t-shirts that have the cold gun on it that say Injustice 2. Could be Mr. Freeze, but we'll see. Either way, both those characters are ice-based characters. Killer Frost, not the most popular one. I would like Killer Frost, and I'd like Firestorm to enter the ring. I think that would be neat, and it would work story-wise. And then they already have Atrocitus. They probably are going to have Sinestro and a Green Lantern. You might as well, at that point, put in Saint Walker and Larfreeze and all these characters that are the main Indigo one, the face of those ring colors, I guess. That would be neat. I'd like to have that. It might be too much for the game, having like 7 different lantern characters, but they can also do anything with the rings, so it makes them complicated. I don't know. I'm not a game designer. Any other characters I'd like? Supergirl kind of made me mad. I would rather her just be a Superman skin, personally. I know that's probably a not popular opinion, but I'd rather her just be a skin. Same with like Black Manta. Just make him an Aquaman skin. I don't care. I'd like Aqualad. That'd be cool. Any of the Teen Titans, really. I mean, we have Raven and Cyborg, but I would like the Young Justice. That would be cool. Big fan of them. Kid Flash. He's just the same as Flash. That's a bad idea. Like Reverse Flash, make that a skin. Don't make that a character. Anyway, moving on. Yooka-Laylee is going to be the last thing that I talk about. I just kind of cherry pick things that I thought, A, you might think's interesting, and B, I like. I am very impressed with Yooka-Laylee. I didn't play Banjo by the time it hit Kickstarter. Had I would have kickstarted it. I've beaten Banjo since. I like Banjo. I thought it was a very good game. Yooka-Laylee looks amazing. I like how it works. It's very non-linear for a platformer game. Typically in platformers, they give you a little bit of ability. So like in Mario 64, you need 7 stars to open this door, and there's the ability to get 15. So there's 15 different stars you can get at this point to open this door that you need 7 of. So those 7 that you get are whichever ones you choose. In Yooka-Laylee, they have a whole bunch of different collectibles. First off, you get like a different move every level, but you can also kind of farm collectibles. Not farm them, but go find collectibles and buy the new moves so you can get them ahead of time, so it seems. And then not only that, you're collecting storybook pages, and you can put those pages into the like hub world for that area, and then put it into whatever levels you like, and it'll expand that level. So you can make a level that you like, and it starts out this big, and then you get a storybook page, and it adds a section over here, and then you can get another one and it adds a section over here, but you could put those in any of the worlds that you like. So one person can play it and have totally different moves and be playing in different sections of levels than somebody else playing it, and they're both 10 hours in the game. I think that's awesome. I think that's a very good way to reinvent the wheel. I'm super excited for Yooka-Laylee, day one purchase for me. Very charming. They did delay it. It was supposed to come in October, I believe, but now it's coming first quarter of 2017. Take your time. Game looks great. I have all the faith in the world in you. Platonic Games doing it, I think. So let's move on to questions. These are all E3 related. Once again, gonna kind of breeze through them because nobody's here with me. So for the first question, what were your 3 favorite announcements of E3? Easy. Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 remake. From the ground up. Ratchet & Clank style. Love it. Can't wait. So excited. Would have liked at least a still image. That would have been nice. But apparently, according to some insiders, this game's been in development for over a year. They are working on it. It's not like they just came up with this idea. And it obviously seems that way. They've been teasing Crash for a while, so it's not like they're going to tease Crash before they know they're going to be able to bring Crash back. So I would imagine back when the PlayStation 4 was being kind of conceived and like the Destiny partnership and everything, it's probably when they worked up this deal and figured out who was going to do it and everything. So we're getting the Crash stuff. Resident Evil 7 is fully VR. That was a huge one for me. And they, once again, that wording, they came out, you can play the game start to finish in VR. Fantastic. They also did a little bit of the PT thing. It's called a teaser, just like PT, playable teaser. But Resident Evil 7, good. I like it a lot. Not quite PT, but I definitely like it a lot. In VR, I imagine it would be terrifying. Can't wait to play PlayStation VR. Love that they hit it in the kitchen demo. That was awesome. Really like a lot of things about this reveal. Everybody freaked out when they found out it was a Resident Evil. Saw it in the movie theater, the E3 experience. Everybody was lost their mind. Probably the second loudest pop of the night, next to Kojima's arrival on stage. Everybody lost their mind with the Norman Reedus Kojima thing. After that, it's kind of a toss-up. Probably We Happy Few, because that was a game that was not on my radar at all. And then the trailer started, and I'm like, oh, it's BioShock with, like, contrast. This is cool. Like, that was the first thing I said. And then I was like, oh, and it looks like Clockwork Orange, which is a movie I very much enjoy. And then, yeah, that's exactly what it is, and it seems awesome. I'm very excited for We Happy Few. I've shown it to multiple people, gamers and non-gamers alike. Everybody thinks it's really awesome. Can't wait to play that game. With a special mention to ReCore coming out in 2016. Didn't see that one coming. Thought for sure that would be delayed. It's coming September 2016. It's only a $40 title, which is awesome. So it's like $32 with Amazon Prime or Games with Gold. Or not Games with Gold, no, that's a lie. With Gamers Unlocked, Game Club Unlocked, whatever it's called. I have it. Gamers Club Unlocked, the Best Buy thing. Yeah, only $32. There's a collector's edition that's very pretty. It's got a hand-painted statue. A little expensive. I think it's like $160 or something. But it comes with a really nice hand-painted statue of the main character and her little robot buddy. You know I pre-ordered that one. Moving on, 3 disappointments. The first disappointment for me would be the Xbox Scorpio, unfortunately. I still think this is a terrible idea. They went through with it. They're going to have the most powerful system, sure, but they just made their other system that they revealed earlier in the show look obsolete, and I was excited for the Xbox Slim, and that's probably the main thing, is like I was ready to get an Xbox Slim. I was so sold. I hate how my Xbox is in my stand, and I have a power brick behind my entertainment stand because of it, and it kind of messes with all the wires and how I can route them through things, and I was like, oh, everything's inside and it's smaller. This is perfect. I'll be able to put it on the same shelf as my PS3. Great. I'm also looking, my Xbox is also white, and I kind of want a black one because everything else I have is black. This seems to only be coming in white, but I'm sure they'll make a black variant. Anyway, Yeah, so like if they came out with one and it was like a black one or whatever, yeah, I probably would have bought it. But now they announced the Scorpio thing, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's only 2017. I already have an Xbox. Like, I don't know who the Scorpio announcement was for. Is it for people that already have an Xbox but didn't want a Slim? Is that who it was for? Because that's not me, so maybe that's who it was for. Is it for people that don't have an Xbox, aren't going to buy an Xbox, and maybe will buy a more expensive Xbox when it comes out? I don't know, because that Scorpio is going to be like $500, if that. It might be more. It could be a little less. I don't know. I just don't know who it's for. That's the problem. Is it just for like super Xbox fans? I don't know, because obviously, I like PlayStation more. I like their exclusives more. I like their controller more. That one's tougher, but I like the Xbox One controller a lot. But even the Neo, like when they announced that, assuming they blow my mind, like the idea of the Neo, I'm mad at them for that. Like, that's not a good idea. I feel like that's a terrible idea. And the only way that they can really market it is like VR. Like, that's the only thing they can say. Or a trade-in program, as I talked about before. But like, even then, Sony came out and said that everything that they showed was running on the current PS4. So like, I don't really know. So yeah, I don't know who the Scorpio's for, and I thought it was a bad announcement idea. I think they should have saved that one. They should have just ended with Halo Wars or whatever. My second disappointment, I have the Crash reveal. I loved the Crash reveal. I was so excited, but I was excited by the words he said, not what was shown. I liked the walking out thing. That was fantastic. The camera work was bad. The camera cut to the audience. I don't want to see the audience reaction. I want to react to what they're reacting to. Don't do the Paranormal Activity thing where you just show me the crowd. That's stupid. The music was great. Like, him walking out was great. I feel like they should have closed the show with that. I think they should have maybe walked out and done that and been like, he's coming to Skylanders, and everybody kind of sighs, and then say, oh, and he's also coming 1, 2, and 3 remaster. End the show with the Crash Bandicoot thing and close it out. And that's probably not a good idea. But like, I feel like they could have done the reveal a lot better. Even just switching the Skylanders and the 1, 2, and 3 remaster, or not transitioning so fast into showing a trailer for the other Crash. But another one, disappointment, the Nintendo conference thing. The Nintendo Treehouse stream. This was awful. I don't get. People may have liked it, whatever. People that really like Zelda, I'm sure, really liked it. I don't really like Zelda, so I didn't really like it. I thought it was incredibly boring. No offense to, like, it's fine to speak other languages, whatever, but it is more difficult to watch something when they're constantly being translated for a 7-hour live stream. That's just too much for me, personally. So I just grew tired. I couldn't even watch more than an hour of it. I couldn't take it. Game looks pretty, though. I don't know why they didn't talk about the NX. They would have definitely made headlines, because the only thing making headlines really was the Xbox Slim and like the new God of War and the Spider-Man PS4 game. Like, they could have easily made headlines revealing their NX, but whatever. And then the final thing, I have who won E3? Sony. I don't think it's a question. I ranked them before. I'm going to rank them again. The worst one was EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Microsoft, Sony. Sony just, they go last, so they get the advantage and all that stuff. But man, they just showed games, and a big thing was none of their stuff leaked. Like, there was rumors, but there was no like definitive leaks. Microsoft's whole script leaked online before their conference. Like, that's a huge blow. And I knew every Ubisoft announcement except for 2 of them beforehand as well, and like the order of their conference and everything. So Sony, like, there's a rumor of a Spider-Man game, which actually turned out to be only half true. It was not Sucker Punch working on it. There's the new God of War's Norse mythology. That concept art leaked. But we knew they were working on a new God of War because they already announced that. What else leaked? The Crash thing was all rumors. Like, nobody knew if that was real or not. So they get another advantage just because their stuff didn't leak. So whatever. I thought Sony won. Pretty definitively. Some people said their conference was better this year than last year. I do disagree with that. Last Guardian and Final Fantasy VII and all this stuff, that was like the dream conference. This is more reality. Like, this stuff is actually coming fairly soon relative to last year's Final Fantasy VII, Shenmue 3 stuff. Anyway, Yeah, let's move on to some game releases, shall we? Kellen, not here to read them, so I guess I have to do it. There's not many this week, at all, really, and there's one missing from this list. Get your act together, Game Informer. I'm going to start with the one that's missing. Mighty Number 9 comes out this week. You should check that out. I'm giving a copy of it away for free. I, unfortunately, will not be here, not with you guys, but I won't be at my house to play it the day it comes out, so I have to wait a day or two. I'm very, very, very excited for that game. I hope it is great. I think it will be, but we shall see. That's coming to every console on the 21st. Deadlight Director's Cut, the June 21st, Xbox One, PS4, PC. I don't have... Gareth does... I'm recording this a little bit early. We don't have the write-ups. Sorry. As you can see, not really working. I'm filming with my phone. What do you want from me? Grand Kingdom, PS4, Vita, June 21st. Pac-Man 256, Xbox One, PS4, PC, June 21st. Umbrella Corps, PS4, PC. That game... I was getting my... what was that face? I was trying to remember what that game was. It's the weird third-person shooter with like AI stuff in the game. It actually looked kind of cool. I don't think I can't see myself playing it. Resident Evil shooter seems weird, but it looks like Resident Evil 4 if it was a multiplayer shooter. So if that sounds fun to you, there you go. VA 11 Hall A PC, June 21st. Get this PC game out of here. Oh god, look at all these PC games. Breached PC, June 22nd. I'm pretty sure that was a Vita game, and it's coming to PC. I'm like 90% sure of that. I think it was also on PS4, but I'm going to just say it was on Vita. Prague 1 PC, June 23rd. Heart and Slash, Xbox One, PS4, June 24th. Terraria, the Wii U and the 3DS, June 24th. A little late to the party on that one. And then finally, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE, the Wii U, June 24th. We'll be getting this one as well. Very excited. Persona meets J-pop, kind of. I wish it was in English. It's all subbed, unfortunately, but it's because they sing in the game. Like, that's a big part of the game, and they didn't have to get voice actors that spoke English and also sung Japanese songs, because that would sound really bad. So it makes a little bit of sense. I agree with them on that. I'm excited for this game. Censored to hell here, unfortunately, but I'm still picking it up because I'm excited, and I can't read Japanese yet. Yeah, so that's it for the releases. Not too much. I think people were scared of No Man's Sky that was supposed to come out that day and then got delayed, so it kind of freed some things up. I will be playing Mighty Number 9 until Tokyo Mirage comes out, and then I'll play a little bit of that and see how that goes. I'll report back. So those are all the releases. Speaking of what I will be playing, let's talk about what I have played. It's been a while, guys. I think it's been almost a month since I've told you what I've been playing, because we missed it one week because I'm real dumb, and then we were doing E3, and now I'm here. I don't know. Maybe it's been 3 weeks. So I'll start with the Resident Evil 7 demo. Like it a lot. Not as good as PT. Still probably the second best thing you can get like that. I don't like Outlast. For preference, I hate their jump scares because they're not scary. They like either shut off the music or they build it up really loud so you know it's coming. It's very obvious. The camera like lingers on whatever's gonna jump. Like, it's so stupid. With that said, this game takes the PT route, which is make you think there's a jump scare and then there's not one, and then you get in your own head and you get all psychologically kind of messed up because you're like, is something there? Did I see something? Were they trying to do something? I really like that. I haven't finished it yet, but I've watched a bunch of different stuff on it. As of recording this, they are still items. There's a mannequin finger that I found. People don't know what these items do, which is hilarious. I hope they didn't put them in the game just to do that. Like, I hope they have a purpose and people actually can't figure it out, because that's awesome. Even if if they want to get real Kojima, like when you play the full game, if you picked it up in the demo, it transfers it to the full game and you get something extra. Even that would be really cool. Yeah, so I like it. It's free on PlayStation Plus. Just go download it and check it out. I can't wait for it in VR. Next up, I played Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I finished that game. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I definitely didn't hate it. I liked it. Played through the story and everything. The problem is, if you're a Mirror's Edge fan, I think you'll like it and you should pick it up. If you're not a Mirror's Edge fan, I would probably still say go play Mirror's Edge 1 and see how you feel. And then if you really liked it, pick up this one. Not only because the price of Mirror's Edge 1's like $5 now, but because this one is an open world and it doesn't need to be. It wastes a lot of your time. It's open world size. Nobody's here to defend it. So open worlds are awful in video games. They're just a stupid idea. You can give the illusion of an open world. That's fine. Like Uncharted 4 did that and that was great. But like when you have an open world, it's just... what's going on? For instance, in Mirror's Edge, somebody gets kidnapped. Okay? Then you walk up to this side event, and the guy's like, hey, I need you to deliver this package. And Faith's like, okay, I'll go deliver it. Why are you delivering a package? Why don't you tell him to help? Your friend's been kidnapped. Oh, you don't care because this is a big open world game that doesn't have a freaking through-line story that works. Anyway, besides that, the map is really big, and it kind of sucks going... like backtracking and everything, so you're fast traveling constantly, but like the game's about running, so you're using fast travel in a game that you're supposed to traverse things, which just doesn't sit well with me, I guess. Anyway, I like the game. The story kind of sucked. If the story was great, the game would have been really good, actually. I like the gameplay. It's just the story didn't keep me wanting to go. But I finished it. Has a good ending. Credits, ridiculously long. It's like 30 minutes of credits, 25 minutes of credits. It got a little ridiculous, and I don't think they're skippable. Next up, I played more Battleborn. I'm going to keep this short because I talk about it every week. Alani came out. I haven't been able to talk about her. I love her as a character. I play her over Thorn now. I think I have 60 hours of her logged in. I got the Master of Alani outfit and everything. Really, really, really like her. She's a healer / damage dealing character / support character. She can kind of do everything. She probably needs to be nerfed, but let's not do that. The way she works is she has a little meter. When she does attacks, the meter fills up, and then that gives you the ability to heal, or you can start making it so like when your meter's full, you do extra damage, things like that. Really, really like her. Maybe too strong, really annoying to play against. An Alani versus Alani match just lasts forever because you're constantly hitting each other and then healing, and then hitting each other and then healing, and it just keeps going back and forth. It's almost impossible to one-on-one with Alani. Somebody has to show up. Really like her, though. Her design's great. Can't wait for the next one. It's a snake dude with boots. Finally, Dark Cloud. I've been playing through Dark Cloud 1. I'm in the 4th area of 6. Nope. Yeah, I'm in the 4th area of 6. That's right. Really love this game. Forgot how much I loved this game. And I'm not going to say too much more until we move on to the unpopular opinion, because it's about Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2. So let's move on to the unpopular opinion. Dark Cloud 2, some people think it's the best PS2 game. And they think it's better than God of War 2. They think it's better than Shadow of the Colossus. They think it's better than, Metal Gear and... Kingdom Hearts 2 and all these games, Silent Hill 2. So, I got Dark Cloud 2, I got Dark Cloud 1. Dark Cloud 1 is better than Dark Cloud 2. That is my final verdict, and it's not my favorite PS2 game either way. It's up there. It's probably in my top 4. It's probably number 4. But I think Dark Cloud 1's better. Here's why. Dark Cloud 2 tries to do too much. It has a little bit of everything, and even though it's done well, like it's all done pretty well at least, it just becomes cumbersome because there's so many things to remember and so many menus and all this stuff that I feel like Dark Cloud 1 didn't have, and it made it better for it. So Dark Cloud 1, this is what you do. You go into a dungeon, you collect orbs that have pieces of a town. The dungeon has floors. When you get to the end of a floor, you can choose to go to the next one or leave the dungeon. You keep doing that. Whenever you leave the dungeon, you're in an open area that you can go into a top-down mode and use the things you've collected to build out the town. This puts town folk in the town. You can talk to them, ask them what they need. I need a lamp for my house, etc. Then you look if you have a lamp, you can give it to them. You can build out their house and complete it. Then you can talk to them again, and they'll be like, I like when the windmill blows stupid wind on my house. And you're like, okay, so you put the windmill facing that house, and then you can build the whole town completely, and you get rewarded for all that stuff, etc. Then you go back into the dungeon, you do more dungeon crawling, you do the first floor, second floor, third floor. It's got like 14 floors, however many floors it has. And then there's a boss fight. You beat the boss, you unlock a brand new area where you go into the dungeon, you do that again, and it's a brand new town with brand new things. And then you do all that, you beat the boss, you go to the next town. Like, that's how the game works. That's what you do until you beat the game. Dark Cloud 2 starts off that way. It gives you the illusion that's what you're doing. That is not... You end up doing that. You do this weird, confusing time travel stuff. It's a time travel story, which is always confusing. The way you build your town, instead of just, like, building it, you, like, build it, and then you look at the future to see what you did in the past that affected the future. It seemed unnecessary. I don't like the characters as much in Dark Cloud 2. You have Monica and Max. I just don't like. He uses a wrench. It's kind of stupid. Monica's cool, but I didn't really like Max. In Dark Cloud 1, you get 6 characters to swap between. In this one, instead, you get like the 2, but then they have battle armor, which you need to keep fueled. So you have to watch your fuel for your battle armor, but then you also have NPCs that help you out. So like you can talk to people and they'll be like, oh, now you're better at fishing if I'm in your party, and you're better at making bombs if he's in your party or whatever. And then there's like dozens of them to get, but then you can also capture creatures and have creatures fight each other. And like there's just do the Pokemon thing. And there's just a point where there's too much going on. Like they could have split it in half and made 2 games almost. And like it was just too much. That's really what it comes down to. The story of 2 is probably better. 1 is just a generic, like, there's a dark genie. He captured everybody. This isn't good. Whereas Dark Cloud 2 has that time travel. I like time travel stories. That has harping on it. I think it's stupid for building the town, but Dark Cloud 2's story is probably better. And the art style is probably better. I mean, they're both good games. I like them both. Don't get me wrong. I just think 1 is a tighter experience, and it has that systematic repetitiveness that I like, where I know exactly what I have to do. I'm going to go through these floors. I'm going to build this town. I'm going to fight this boss. I'm going to go through these floors. I'm going to build this town. I'm going to fight this boss. Every time it's getting a little bit harder. Every time it gets a little bit more difficult. Like, I liked that. I felt like Dark Cloud 2, I was like, all right, I'm learning to do this. Oh, now I got to capture these little Pokemon. Oh, no, now there's a time travel thing, and I need to worry about that. Oh, and now I have ride armor, and I need to learn how to, like, it was just too much. Personally, for me. So, Dark Cloud 1, Dark Cloud 2. I'm almost platinum Dark Cloud 1 now at this point. I'll probably have it platinum by the next episode. I've done everything optional completely. All I have to do is beat the game at this point. So, I've done all the optional stuff. Dark Cloud 2, I played on PS2, not PS4. I bought it for PS4 because it was on sale. I'm going to play through it once I finish Dark Cloud 1, or at least I'm going to play some of it. I don't know if I'll finish it. I don't know if I'll platinum it for sure. I'll probably finish it. Will I platinum it? I don't know. Platinum Dark Cloud 1, though. Really like that game. So, yeah, that's why I think Dark Cloud 1 is better than 2. It's very unpopular. I saw a forum post where people were talking about it, and literally nobody voted for Dark Cloud 1. And I was like, really? I honestly think it's better. Like, just the characters and the structure. That's what I wanted. The structure of the game is better for Dark Cloud 1 for me personally. So I don't know. Yeah, that's the end of the show, guys. No talking. Quick episode. Probably a good thing. Don't have Kellen or Todd to sass me, you know. So go ahead and leave your unpopular opinion down below for gaming, whatever. It can be. I always give the example of Sonic's better than Mario because that's not true. But if you have an unpopular opinion or an unpopular nerdy one, any like comic book, whatever, that would be cool. Just give a little paragraph about why you think it's that way, and we'll talk about it. We'll go over it, etc., etc. You can go ahead and leave your questions and comments down below. If it's a good question, we'll put it on the show for next week or whatever. Be a subscriber. You can win Mighty Number 9 this month, which is pretty sweet. Leave a comment. We'll give you another entry, all that stuff. It's all in the beginning of the video, guys. Why are you making me repeat myself? So thank you so much for being here, Kellen. Thank you so much for being here, Todd. And thank you so much for watching.